So a few years ago, I bought a house on my own for my little girls and I to move into. And I was so proud. It was such an accomplishment. I bought it from the people who had actually owned it since the house was built. So you can imagine that after many, many generations, there was a lot of work that needed to be done on the inside. So I hired a contractor and a team of industrious friends, and we completely renovated it. We took down all the old, icky orange and brown stuff and replaced it with this like shrine of femininity. It was just rose gold everywhere, and it was beautiful. By the time we had finished the interior renovations, I was really tired and needed to take a break. So I ignored my neighbors on either side of me when they told me that there was a highly invasive vine growing along the back fence and across the back deck. Sometimes I would watch this vine kind of pop up in unexpected places, like in between the deck boards, maybe 20 feet away, or popping up or creeping out in between the stairs. And one day I even found it growing all the way over on my driveway, which is probably about 30 feet away. And every time I found one of these annoying little tendrils of vine, I would get out my kitchen scissors and I would just go and snip it off, thinking, perfect, my work here is done. Then we went away for the weekend. And when we came back, I realized this vine had all but swallowed my picnic table. It had completely usurped our back deck, and I knew then in that moment that it was really time to address the problem. So I hired the kid who would come to cut my grass, and he did the messy, uncomfortable, dirty, icky work of climbing underneath the deck and tracing every single tendril of vine back to where it came from. He traced every single piece back to its root, and when he found the root of that problematic vine, he killed it dead. And after that, the vine was so much more manageable. Even if I did have the vine growing in other places, I knew exactly where it came from and I was able to get on top of it much more easily. And then I thought to myself, this is a perfect metaphor for the emotional work that we do in our lives. You know, sometimes we feel like we've done all the work, or we're tired, we're just kind of getting by. And still, we keep noticing the same behavior patterns popping up over and over again. We think they're unrelated, but when we get really clear on what's happening, we notice we keep attracting bad relationships, we enter terrible business deals, we tend to sabotage friendships, whatever it is. The same seemingly unrelated behavior keeps popping up over and over and over again. And it's up to us to do that messy, dirty, uncomfortable work of tracing every single one of those emotions back to its source. And when we get very clear on what the root problem is, we can start to identify what that feeling is. We can start to change the story we've been telling ourselves and really start to make it our own. Rockefeller said that emotional intelligence is the most underrated success trait in entrepreneurship. And the same is true for the teams that we work on, the teams that we play on, our intimate partnerships, our business partnerships, and in our parenting. When we are able to cultivate this emotional awareness and get clear on what it is we're feeling and why, then we really start to deepen and heighten our emotional intelligence. And when we heighten our emotional intelligence, that's when we can find clarity in what we want, confidence in who we are, and the courage to stay true to both.